My name is Nick Martell with Martell Homes. In this video, I'd like to talk about how to find the right contractor. Now, there's many different ways to go about this process, but realize that all your due diligence needs to be up front. Once you hire that contractor, you got to give them the benefit of the doubt to do what you need them to do. So with that being said, let's talk about the work you need to do up front. You got to look for you got to really ask the questions. Do they offer turnkey products? Do they offer alternative financing? What kind of changes to the plans can you really make? Are they semi-custom? Are they your standard box builders? These are all things you want to really be asking them as you're talking to their sales team. Also, too, who do they utilize in their team process? So what I mean is if you can't quite make it to the table as far as your loan ratio, who do they have that they can refer you to help you get where you need to go for the product you want, not the product they want to fit you in? So that's another key thing to think about. Remember, you're buying an expensive product when it comes to whether it's a renovation, whether it's a brand new home build, whether it's commercial land. It doesn't matter what it is that you're trying to purchase or buy. It's your money, it's your time. You want to make sure you're getting what you want. So these are all things to think about up front. Don't let them tell you what it is that they want you in. Another thing to think about too is when it comes to their team, ask them who they are, but base it on what you need. Like for the example with the credit side, if you feel your credit needs to be a little bit higher or stronger, do they have someone they can refer you to help you through that process? Say you've got a year before you actually build and buy the house. There's time there. You can go through the whole deal with the contractor and not have a final mortgage until a certain point. So they have the ability to really step up their game and prove themselves to you through that process if they want to. Another cool thing too is say you've got a home you live in but you can't qualify for 2 mortgages. There's always the ability for some intermediate lending agent to be able to help you get there. So these are all possibilities. It's just, do they have the right team to help you get there? Talk to people they've already built for, right? And if they struggled getting in contact with them when there's issues, because let's face it, it's construction, right? There's going to be issues. It's just a matter of how did they deal with the issue, right? So ask them, what kind of issues do you have on your job? Be open and frank about it, and ask them what they did in order to make things right. And how easy are they to have access to? Some companies might assign a salesperson throughout the whole process. Some might hire someone specific like a concierge, and their only job is to satisfy the client. So these are people you have access to 24/7. Ask who your point of contact is. You should always know, you should have a roadmap to the final product. So from the first day when you sign that dotted line, they should have someone who's constantly educating you on what the next steps are, what they're doing, and what your timeline is looking like. So you should always know if your timeline, if your build is on target to finish on their completion date, if you need a little extra time, or if they're going to finish early. Through the process, you're going to be able to find that out. If you find the right contractor. Are they properly insured? Some states require for you to be licensed as a contractor. I know in Louisiana, we're required to be licensed. With a licensing board, the only way we can be licensed is if we have our proper insurances. So that's a good way to check, at least in Louisiana. Hey, look, these guys they're licensed, they're insured, they're okay. All right. That doesn't mean they're the right contractor, but it's a good starting point. Another thing to think about too is what subs are they using? If they're using Joe Blow, plumber who's not licensed by the state, that might be an issue. See, in Texas and Louisiana, even though you don't have to be a licensed contractor in Texas, you still have to be a licensed plumber. Same thing in Louisiana, right? So if you can gain access to their sub list as well as their supply list, it gives you an idea of the quality you're going to be expecting. So if it's just somebody out of a truck who doesn't have a lot of history with that company, more than likely there's an issue with the contractor because they're going in and out of plumbers, right? As an example, if they've had the same plumber for say 10 years that they've been in business, they're probably doing something right. That plumber hasn't failed on them. That's a good example. Now, let's talk about supplies. When you talk about supplies with the contractor, it's not just you're going to build me a $250,000 house, right? You're going to go through the entire list of all the products you're going to put in that home. If you talk budget items, that's fine, but what's my budget number, right? And then you can do some of your own due diligence on what that budget number is going to get you. It's not that you can build me a house for $250,000. It's what am I going to get for my money? So if that budget number is $1.25 a square foot on floors, you don't have a very big option when it comes to flooring. So if it's closer to $6 a square foot on flooring, now you have a much larger option pool of product you can put in that flooring. These are all questions that need to be asked. So really pay attention to who you're talking to. Interview them. You're hiring them. You're the client. Interview them like you're interviewing somebody to work for you, because that's exactly what you're doing. It's not like you're going to a store and you're just buying a product because it's the only one on the shelf. You've got tons of contractors in your area that you can target and you can talk to, and you can bring them to the table and interview them in an appropriate manner, go over some of these items, and you can find the contractor that you're looking for, not the one that you got to settle with. So if you found this video interesting, if you found it helpful, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.